Standing for God, April 1st, 2017. The Joy of Exalting Christ by John MacArthur. Paul and Timothy, bondservants of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:1. If exalting Christ is your goal, anything that furthers the gospel will bring you joy. Next to the Lord himself, Paul is perhaps the greatest illustration that joy is not necessarily related to one's circumstances. Paul wrote to the Philippians from a prison cell, yet he spoke of joy and contentment. His life was a series of difficulties and life-threatening situations. See 2 Corinthians 11:23 through 33. In fact, the Lord, shortly after confronting him on the road to Damascus, said, "Paul is a chosen instrument of mine to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the sons of Israel. For I will show him how much he must suffer for my name's sake." Acts 9:15 and 16. Yet in every situation, Paul found cause for rejoicing. His compelling desire to exalt Christ drove him to endure trial after trial. When Christ was exalted, Paul rejoiced. That was evident in Philippi, where after a brief ministry in which God redeemed a businesswoman named Lydia and expelled demons from a slave girl, Paul and Silas were falsely accused, unjustly beaten, and thrown into prison. Even that didn't stifle their joy, for at about midnight Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns of praise to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Acts 16:25. That was such a powerful testimony to the joy of the Lord that soon afterward the jailer and his entire family believed the gospel and were saved. Even when imprisonment prevented Paul from ministering as effectively as he desired, and when others usurped his apostleship and preached Christ out of envy and strife, he remained undaunted. Philippians 1:18. His circumstances were secondary to the priority of exalting Christ. Is that your perspective? It can be, if your priority is to exalt Christ in every circumstance. Whatever furthers that purpose will bring you joy. By John MacArthur.